Let me tell you something real. Most people aren't tired because they're doing too much. They're tired because they're listening to too much. Too many voices, too many opinions, too many people telling you who you should be, how fast you should be moving, and what success is supposed to look like. And before you know it, you're exhausted, not from the work, but from the noise. In 2026, if you don't protect your energy, somebody else will drain it for you. If you don't guard your focus, the world will happily scatter it in 1,000 directions. You don't owe everyone an explanation. You don't need to announce every move. You don't need permission to grow. Some of the strongest seasons of your life will be quiet ones. Seasons where nobody claps. Seasons where nobody understands what you're doing. Seasons where the only voice you need to hear is the one reminding you why you started. Silence is not you hiding. It's you sharpening. It's you thinking clearly. It's you choosing progress over popularity. Every time you argue with people who don't share your vision, you lose time. Every time you explain your dreams to people who don't believe in themselves, you lose momentum. And every time you react to negativity, you hand over control. That's why focus requires discipline. You have to wake up every day and decide what gets your attention and what doesn't. Because attention is currency. And if you keep spending on distractions, you'll be broke when it's time to invest in your future. There's power in learning how to move without making noise. Power in staying calm when others want a reaction. Power in knowing your plan so well that doubt can't shake you. When you stop trying to prove yourself, you finally have the energy to build yourself. And that's when things start to change. Your work gets deeper. Your mindset gets stronger. Your confidence becomes quiet but unshakable. Understand this. Every level requires a new level of focus. What worked last year won't work this year. You can't carry old distractions into a new season. You have to let some conversations go. You have to let some access go. You have to let some habits go. Not because you're better than anyone, but because you're serious about where you're going. So in 2026, protect your energy, cut the noise, stay locked in, and let your silence prepare you for the life you've been praying for. Let me break this down for you. So many people are obsessed with being seen, being recognized, being praised. They want likes, comments, applause, validation. And I'm not saying recognition is bad, but if that becomes your fuel, your energy, your reason to grind, you're already set up for disappointment. True growth doesn't happen on the stage. True growth doesn't happen when everyone is watching. It happens in the quiet hours, in the moments nobody knows about, in the early mornings and late nights when it's just you and your work. That's where the magic happens. That's where champions are built. You got to learn how to build in private. You got to learn how to take one step at a time, even when nobody believes in you. Because what people see is the result, but they never see the hours you spent laying the foundation. They never see the sweat, the failures, the tears, the discipline, the consistency. And here's the truth. If you're always announcing your goals, always talking about what you're going to do, always showing the world your every move, you're actually giving away your power. You're creating noise instead of creating results. The people who change the world, the people who dominate their craft, the people who achieve levels most only dream about, they aren't busy proving themselves to others. They're busy proving themselves to themselves. They're busy getting stronger, sharper, better, smarter, faster. They're busy in silence. And that silence is not emptiness. It's a battlefield. It's where you wrestle with your weaknesses, confront your fears, and develop the resilience no applause can give you. Let me tell you something. Discipline is built when no one is watching. Habits are formed when you're consistent in private. Confidence is developed when you push past self-doubt without seeking approval. When you work in silence, you give yourself a gift, the ability to let your results speak. Let the world see the finished product. Let the outcome be your voice. Stop explaining. Stop justifying. Stop negotiating for recognition. Every time you rush to broadcast your journey, you rob yourself of the depth of growth. Every time you try to impress others, you dilute your focus. But when you build in private, when you grind quietly, when you stay committed to your craft, even when nobody's watching, that's when transformation happens. That's when you become unstoppable. That's when your life becomes a reflection of your effort, not your announcements. So in 2026, stop performing for validation. Stop telling the world your plans. Stop seeking applause. Build quietly, execute relentlessly, and let your results speak louder than any words ever could. Listen to me closely. So many people spend their lives trying to fix the world, to control everything around them, to make other people change. And they wonder why they're exhausted, frustrated, and still nowhere closer to their dreams. Here's the truth. You can't control the world, but you can control yourself. You can control your mindset. You can control your effort. You can control how you respond to challenges, how you respond to criticism, how you handle setbacks. Mastering yourself is the first step to mastering anything else in your life. In 2026, the people who will rise above, the ones who will achieve what others think is impossible, will be the ones who focus on self-mastery. They will be the ones who refuse to let emotions dictate their actions, who refuse to let fear or doubt dictate their decisions. Self-mastery is not just about discipline. It's about awareness. It's about understanding your triggers, your weaknesses, your patterns. It's about being honest with yourself, even when it hurts, and making the hard choices that others are too afraid to make. Most people chase success without mastering themselves, and that's why they crash when things get tough. They can't handle criticism. They can't handle pressure. They can't handle discomfort. But when you focus on yourself, when you control your thoughts, your habits, and your actions, you become unshakable. You build a foundation so strong that no outside circumstance can knock you off course. Your confidence no longer depends on other people's approval. Your motivation no longer depends on applause. You begin to realize that the only thing standing between you and your goals is you. And when you master that, nothing else can stop you. Every moment you spend trying to fix someone else, every moment you waste worrying about what others think, is energy stolen from your own growth. In 2026, the winners will be the ones who invest in themselves. They will be the ones who show up every day to their own development, who add, who train, who reflect, who execute. They understand that before you can lead, you must first manage yourself. Before you can inspire others, you must first discipline yourself. Before you can reach your vision, you must first be in control of your own life. So stop looking outward for answers. Stop trying to correct everyone else. Focus on the one person you can always change, the person in the mirror. Master yourself and watch as your life begins to align with the vision you've been holding inside. This is how true power is built. And this is how you dominate your 2026. Now listen carefully. Silence isn't just about not talking. Silence is a strategy. Silence is a weapon. Silence is the place where your focus sharpens, your hunger grows, and your commitment locks in. So many people are loud about what they want, loud about what they're doing, loud about their dreams, but in 2026, noise will be everywhere. If you're loud, you get lost in the crowd. If you're quiet, you become unstoppable. Silence keeps you locked in on what matters, and hunger keeps you moving forward even when nobody is watching. Hunger is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Hunger is that fire inside that pushes you out of bed when the world is comfortable. Hunger is that drive that keeps you going when every excuse tells you to quit. But hunger alone isn't enough. You have to stay silent while you feed it. Because if you're constantly announcing your plans, showing off your progress, seeking validation at every step, you weaken your momentum. You let other people's opinions distract you. You let their doubts invade your mind. Silence shields your hunger. Silence protects your grind. Silence allows you to focus fully on the work that actually matters. And let me tell you something about commitment. It isn't flashy. Commitment doesn't require a spotlight. Commitment doesn't post updates on social media. Commitment is showing up when no one notices. Commitment is putting in the work when nobody is applauding. Commitment is keeping your eyes on the prize while the world tries to pull you off course. In 2026, commitment will separate the talkers from the doers, the dreamers from the achievers. You have to stay locked in, not because anyone is watching, but because your future depends on it. When you combine silence with hunger and commitment, something incredible happens. You become unshakable. Distractions lose their power. Negativity bounces off you. Opinions no longer dictate your path. You start to operate on a higher level because your energy is devoted solely to your mission, not to convincing anyone else that you're worthy of success. People will see your results and they will wonder how you did it. But you won't have to explain. You were too busy working, too busy grinding, too busy mastering yourself. So in 2026, learn the power of moving in silence, of staying hungry, of remaining locked in no matter what. Let your actions, your progress, and your results make all the noise for you. That is how you dominate your life, and that is how you become truly unstoppable.